also know that you can't always get the exact color. Darn that fashion industry. You can't always get the exact color in your palette because they haven't manufactured it. So you need to understand that when you do find those colors, you need to buy them or you need to adjust. I have bought things well in advance where I go, okay, that is my color. I have been looking for it for a long time. I don't need it now because it's the end of summer, but next year it's going to look fantastic. So that's something to consider when you're shopping. Also, if you have a red top that isn't quite popping enough, play with it. Do the interactions of color with some accessories, and maybe by positioning it with something that is complementary, that top might pop. I had a yellow jacket that just didn't look great with white. And I thought, what if I put a lilac underneath, a purple lilac underneath? And oh my gosh, absolutely beautiful. It just changed the whole look of the outfit. It went from boring to spectacular. So the point is to create something where that visual appearance and that harmony is working with complementary colors. I just said that positioning contrasting colors next to each other makes them pop. The focal point of the complementary outfit occurs when they come together. So if you want the viewer's eyes to perceive something or be drawn towards something in the client's physiology, make sure that the contrast is happening there. For example, if somebody has a really elegant, beautiful neck, you would make sure that the jacket would be in green with the red necklace or red outfit to bring the viewer's eyes to that place where the contrast meets. So this is one of the other things about coaching, is understanding that where those points meet with the complementary colors is where you're going to create visual focus and appeal. On the other hand, if you want the eye to be drawn away from an area, you're going to push the contrast points of that outfit further apart. For example, I don't want people to be drawn towards my hip. I'm a very curvy person. I have a small waist, so I would highlight my waist and avoid putting contrasting colors right where my widest point of my body is. That's not a good thing to do. So I put the contrasting color around my waist, around my arms, which is a good feature for me, and I keep them far away from the wider hip area, which I don't want to accentuate. I think that for makeup, a great tip is to use contrasting darker colors in the creases of your eye. I do use the copper and the green because my eyes are a blue-green, which draws attention to the shape of the eye. So it's not only in color choices for clothing, it's also color choices for makeup that you would use this. And please, oh my gosh, do not be matchy-matchy. The one thing about complementary colors, it tends to keep you away from matchy-matchy, and that's why complementary colors work so well. You don't have to also match the saturation of both colors or the chroma of both colors. You can use a vibrant with a muted. Don't do matchy-matchy with this, where you're trying to find the same tone of red and the same tone of green within that outfit. You can use complementary colors and mismatch the chroma, and that gives you a heightened sense of fashion that would be otherwise not in that outfit. So choosing a vibrant lilac with a muted yellow or an ivory works really, really well. Choosing a maroon with a bright emerald would work well as a complementary color. Understand that you also don't and shouldn't do a 50-50 of each color within the outfit. That doesn't work. We already said that you want to keep to the percentage of the outfit in that seasonal warm or cool combination. The closer you get to 50-50 in a complementary outfit percentage-wise for the surface area, the less put together you're going to look. I usually use complementary colors between, 15 and 30% max, where I'll pick my blue dress and I'll pick an orange tote and an orange belt or a scarf, but I keep those percentages much lower, and that makes a better visual impact than doing the 50-50. The other thing we have to mention with complementary colors is what happens when you use colors on the complementary side that aren't easy to see or perceived. When considering colors that aren't necessarily easy to categorize on the color wheel, you have to determine what's the closest color on that color wheel to the color you're considering. Let's take brown for an example. Brown is a very difficult color to categorize because you can have a cool brown or a warm brown, believe it or not, depending on what they mix it with. Brown's closest in the color wheel usually to orange. They are usually closest to orange. This is most often seen as a warm color, which would be a autumn color or a spring color, and they're usually considered on the warm range. But you have to remember that the complementing color to brown is difficult to see. Well, if you think that brown is close to orange, you would use blue as the complementing color. And then it makes it easy. The more you learn about the color wheel and the nuances and the closeness of these colors, the easier it will be for you to discern the characteristics of that brown color being closer to orange. And then placing it correctly on the nearest color to the color wheel makes it easy to go across the color wheel and pick that complementary color. Complementary color choices create strong contrast when they're placed together. They can be very sophisticated in an outfit. They can be very visually appealing, and they tend to draw people in, and people think that you have a really put together look. And then they're easy for the client to put together because you go, okay, it's easy. Go directly opposite. Use a big percentage of the color that's in your seasonal color palette, smaller on the other side. Super easy for them to get as one of the first coaching concepts.